Hello everyone, and happy Soulful Sunday. I'm here just to share a message of love and hope on this beautiful day. The sun is shining, and I just wanted to get up on here and just share a couple of things with you guys. So as you guys know, if you guys have been following me for a while, that I travel a lot, and all the information I get, I come back and give it to you guys. For example, last year I was able to go to Switzerland and France, and I was able to see a lot of things firsthand, a lot of truth. And I came back and shared it with you guys. I went to CERN, which is the largest particle collider. I also brought knowledge back about how the chocolate got to Europe and how it was native in the Americas. I was able to also bring information on Saint Germain, which is also a we call an ascended master. He's one of the teachers that have been here on earth many times to help humanity rise just like Christ was. So I was able to learn about Saint Germain in Switzerland as well. The WHO health organization, I was there as well, just as the coronavirus had started. So I was able to learn a lot of stuff last year, even though that, you know, it was at the beginning of the year and then everybody was locked up. And so that's what I do. God takes me or sends me places, and I, see truth, and I bring it to you guys. That's what I do. So God's calling me to go to a lot of different places. A lot of opportunities are coming, and a lot of those places are here in the Americas, here in the United States, as we have very strong points here in what we would call the New World. A lot of people back in the days in Europe, they called the Americas the New World. It was untouched unless you were Native American and you were born here. It was untouched by the Europeans for a long time. And so this was called the New World. And the United States is a big refugee for the entire world. When any person wants to get away from what they're living, and back in the days it was prosecution for even knowing too much or holding the Bible or reading the Bible. It was Inquisition time, so they would prosecute you and kill you if you didn't believe the way they believed. There was no free-minded people, because it's easier to control the entire mass thinking the same way. So there was a lot of people that they would get killed, and the only way out would be to get on a ship and come to the unknown. For them, this was the unknown, the Americas. Well, here in the Americas, there's a lot of main energy points of the earth, and it's here in the United States. So there's no coincidence that a lot of our ancestors knew that this was the New World, the Promised Land, the New Jerusalem. For our people, the followers of Christ, it was the New Jerusalem. They actually even did a paper, and it was accepted into Berkeley as the United States, or the Americas, being the New Jerusalem, because that message didn't come to just one set of people, but it came to people from around the world that this was the Promised Land. And I get to that because God is calling me, or opportunities are coming. The universe is manifesting itself for me to go to a lot of energy sources here in the United States, like Mount Shasta. So spring's coming up, and there's already a huge energy source in Mount Shasta. It's here in California, and Mount Shasta is basically the root chakra of the earth. Okay, so I'll explain a little bit to you. So Father Sky is our father. He's the source because he has the energy, right? So just like the sun, that's the same way he is. So he's the source. And Mother Earth is our mother. And that is the matter. That's everything that's on earth. So God had to get, which is the source, had to get things from the earth and gave us shape, gave us, the shape of humans. And so that's Father Earth, and this is Mother Earth. And so the center of the earth, or energy source of the earth, is Mount Shasta. So we have it here in the Americas. Again, there's no coincidence that this is what they call the New Jerusalem, the Promised Land. You know, I'm smiling because I'm so happy to bring you this information, and I get excited because we're here. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on, and I don't focus on that. I have to focus on the good, because I actually see the big picture, you know. And we have it right here. If you're living in the United States, the whole world is watching, because we're the ones that are supposed to lead the entire earth into freedom, as this is the free land. But in our reality, the earth is free itself. It's just been in these invisible chains. I call it the matrix. A lot of people call it the matrix. And that those invisible chains are, you know, you're too scared of what society's gonna think if you think outside the bubble. If you don't follow what everybody's doing, they're gonna think you're crazy, or they're gonna think like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with that person? Why is she not like this? Well, we've been programmed for such a long time, and especially the people in the United States, because we have so much freedom, that they've had to put these invisible chains. And so that's why most people don't live from within. Whatever their purpose is, they don't live it, because their purpose doesn't match the neighbor's purpose. Well, we're all different, and we're all here to do a job, and we all signed up for it before even getting here. And the problem is that we've been asleep, and it's not a problem, because God allowed us to do that so we can multiply, because we think that with numbers we're strong, right? But in reality, it only takes one person to start up, you know, the whole revolution of love. It only takes one spark, you know. But you know, we feel comforted when there's so many of us in numbers, and when we're all waking up, it just feels like we're stronger, right? So God did that. He placed, you know, the 144 lights, or the 144 angels, 144,000 angels. He put them in certain spots in the world, and those angels are here to spark up the world and wake them up, right? And they're not just 144,000 angels, they're 144,000 families. And the reason that happens is because there's 144,000 star seeds, and when you wake up and you start waking up the mass, it's kind of like the oxygen in a candle, right? When you put the top on the candle, there's no oxygen, so the light is out. The wick is still there, the wax is still there, but there's no flame, right? When you open it up, now you have oxygen, now that flame can be lit, right? It's the same thing with us. We have the light within, but it's been so dimmed with just all these lies, and we've been believing it, that we have the lid on it. Nobody has the lid on it for us. We have to be the ones to open it up and accept the truth. We're the only ones that are blocking it. And that's why, you know, we get back to the chakras, right? I told you guys that Mount Shasta is actually the root chakra of the earth. You know, that's the energy center point. And we come from the earth, so we have to connect earth and sky, and we're in between, right? We're that energy source. So we go down to the chakras. I hope you guys can see it. So the lower one is our root chakra, and that's where Mount Shasta is. It's literally our root chakra. And then it goes up, right? So it's 7. So what we're doing actually right now is we're actually starting to live into this higher realm right here, which is the love source. So from the heart up, it's the higher source. We've been living from here down, and that's been helping us to have those animalistic traits, right? That we're survivors. We eat, we reproduce, which we need that for survival. But now there's so many of us, and we're so smart now, right? It's not that we're smart. We've always been smart, but the lid is lifting, and we're able to see the truth, that now we're actually starting to live in our heart space, from our heart space up. And so our crown chakra is, and I'll start from the top. So our crown chakra is the lavender, and that's basically where we're at. A lot of us are already there, and that's knowing who you are, knowing that you are the children of God, remembering that crown, and that's what the top one is. And then when you go down to your third eye, so your third eye is your intuition. It's like your direct line with what's right and what's wrong from within. So it's our inner, source is our Father. So it's our connect to God, whatever you want to call them. Again, words, you can use them any which way. God is God, the source, our Father, whatever you want to call him. But when you realize who you are, then you wear your crown and you remember who you are. And then you go to your third eye, and your third eye tells you, you open up. And how we open up is we start with what we eat. And the reason for that is because we're eating a lot of trash that's literally calcifying our third eye, which is our intuition. So that gland that we have right there is, and we call it the third eye, is like kind of like a pine cone. And when it's calcified with the foods that we eat, like things that aren't organically, food that is man-made, then they have heavy metals. So those heavy metals start to calcify our third eye. And that's why now you see a lot of people, especially in the United States, that have Alzheimer's. You didn't hear about that back in the days. I mean, there was one or two people that were maybe senile, or I don't know if you call it that, but when they get older and they just kind of lose it. But the majority of people, they really knew, everything. They weren't forgetting things like they forget now. Now the number one cause of Alzheimer's is the calcification of your gland, which is heavy metals. So, and then the next one, so we have to make sure we have that clean, and the way we do that is by eating organic foods that were made for our body. Even the chicken that we're eating today is not the chicken that our, even our parents were eating, or our grandparents, because even if you buy a chicken that says no hormones, they're genetically engineered already, that they're fully grown at 6 weeks, guys. A chicken at 6 weeks, that's from the time they're born to they get to your plate, it's 6 weeks. So they're genetically engineered. So we have to get back to eating fruits and vegetables. Fasting is very, very crucial, because when you're fasting, you're actually processing all those toxins. If your belly's full, the number one rule for your belly is to process the food. So if you have a full belly, you're never going to process the toxins. So fasting is super important. And then we get to, after your third eye and it's, clean and everything, then you can connect with source, which is our God and our creator. And then you're going to go to our throat chakra. That is the blue one. And our throat chakra is super important because it's, as we create, as we speak, we create. So everything, we have that gift of speaking. Animals don't have it. They communicate just with feeling, and we have that too, but we've been so programmed, with devices that keep us occupied on the outer realm, that we forgot to connect from within. But that's a whole new video, or a whole other video. So very crucial to be very thoughtful. Think before you speak, because when we speak, we create. That's what the correct translation of abracadabra is as we speak, we create. And that's what we do. We create spells. That's why it's called spelling, So we have to be righteous with our word, okay? So that's our throat chakra. And many people are just saying trash, and so then they're hearing trash. So it's just a whole, tumbleweed there that we're creating. So we got to be very righteous with our words. And then we want to go to our heart. And so our heart, when it's love, it's always right. So that's why we want to live from our heart up, but everything has to be in balance, because we need everything in order to survive. So then we go down to our solar plex, which is the that is our center. That is what connects us to to source. So from here up, it's light, and from here down, it's matter. But we need everything in order to be balanced. And many people, again, we are living from the belly down, and we need to start being able to live from the belly up. And once we get that, or from the heart up, then we can balance everything. At least that's how it's been to me. But we need everything in order to be able to grow. That one also centers us with our ancestors. So we need to know where we came from to know where we're going. And then we have the sacral, and then we have the root. So those are all our chakras, and you have to connect every single one of them. And again, you know, God's sending me places even now, and Mount Shasta is one of the places he's sending me. He is also sending me, and again, I say he's sending me because he presents the opportunities, right? I am leaving the country in a couple of weeks, in less than a couple of weeks, and I am so excited to bring you so much knowledge, because I will be connecting to Mother Earth, and all the beauties. And remember, Mother Earth gives us every remedy for our body, for our temple, everything naturally. You know, the sun right now is healing my body, because we're a bunch of living cells, and I'm just absorbing all these vitamins from the sun, from the source. So I'm super excited to see what I'm going to bring you for 2021, and I just can't wait. And remember, guys, just share the information, because the messenger doesn't matter. What matters is the message. We've had many messengers in the past, and either they've been, again, they've been after them, they would kill them if they had too much knowledge, or they would try to control the world because they had the knowledge. So now the time that we're in, which is the time of Aquarius, it's time of truth, and everybody's going to have the truth. So the messenger doesn't matter. The message is what matters, because when we all know the truth, we all have the power, and we all remember who we are. And then we start living with a purpose, and we all have this amazing, beautiful purpose. But until we all live it, we're not going to see the beauty of the world, the true potential, right? Because again, we've been so programmed to be worried about doing the same thing, and with social media showing you got to be like whatever, like your neighbors, okay? And that's not the reality. We all have a job here to do, and when we all start living our purpose, we start to create this, and we bring so much light to the world, and then the puzzle becomes full. And that's what it is. You know, I started to tell you about the star seeds and how they're, you know, put in different parts of the world, because the way God works is, you know, he created everything, and for a long time we couldn't see where it was going. And now it seems like so much is being unraveled, because those star seeds woke up, or have been awake, and they have been doing work, and now they spread that truth, and they're just, it's kind of like a puzzle. You know, when you're making a puzzle and the puzzle doesn't make any sense, but then all of a sudden you put a couple of pieces and everything starts to come to light. Well, that's the same exact thing that's happening right now, and it's been happening since 2000, the end of 2012, which is the end of the Mayan calendar, which is the end of the Pisces time, as we were going into the time of Aquarius. But it literally has been 7 years that it took us to be into the cusp of Aquarius. So now we're in Aquarius. So that's a really good time, because it's the golden age of Aquarius. It is the time of knowing. For my Christians out there, for you to understand, it is the 1,000 years of promise of love and peace on earth that is in Revelations. So it's going to come, the message will come to everybody. You know, a lot of people think it's only going to come through Christ. Well, yes, it is going to come only through Christ, because Christ means love. So the only way through that is going to get us to walk through that narrow bridge is love. So when we all realize that the message is the same and that it's love, then we're all going to unite and remember who we are. Because remember, you know, Jesus was one of our messengers that came on earth and said, they asked him, when is the kingdom of God coming? And he said, you're not going to be able to see from over there, or you're not going to be able to say that it's over there or over there. It's going to be among you. So it's when you realize who you are, and when we start living in Christ consciousness in our heart and up and balance it all out, until then, that's when we're going to rise. And I truly see it, guys. I really, really, really see it. And you know, I have a lot of conversations with people on a daily basis, and they tell me, Nora, I see how you see life, but there's still so much ugliness, and how can we unite everybody? Love is going to unite us, and the children are going to unite us. And I know it sounds a little cliche, but the children that are suffering through the darkness, we're going to be able to save them. And when everybody starts to wake up, we'll start to see it. But those are the two key things that are going to unite us, and that is love and the children. So I hope this was a good message. I know it was a good message because it comes from God, right? I'm just, you know, the vehicle that he uses, and I open up to it because we have will, and so I open up to God every single morning, and I allow him to use my voice for just that, just to be the messenger. So again, share the message, because the messenger doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you get the message and you start to look within, because God gives everybody the same thing, the same opportunity that he gave me, he gives you. And so remember to start living by N.O.A.H, N-O-A-H. And with nutrition, what you put in your body, number one. O for opportunity, because God gives you opportunities every day, but you need to see them. A for action and accountability, because you have to take action with those opportunities. And there's something attached to every single action you do. There's an accountability attached. So you have to be aware of the accountability. And last is history. You need to know where you came from to know where you're going. And you need to pick and choose what's going to serve you, and learn from that, and live from within. Live within, and that's love. That's it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. Sending you guys a lot of love. Mwah. Bye-bye.